Right, hello and welcome to the Doctor Who Series 3 review. Before we begin, obviously this is the review of the first episode, Smith and Jones, but before we begin, a series overview of what's to come and what, we're going for. So we have Smith and Jones, the Shakespeare Code, Gridlock, Daleks in Manhattan, the evolution of the Daleks, the Lazarus Experiment, 42, Human Nature and the Family Blood, Blink, Utopia, the Sound of the Drums, Last of the Time Lords, and finally, Voyage of the Damned. Now, Series 3, there's a lot more highs than there was for Series 2, and I think Series 3 is almost on the level of Series 1, but I feel like there's a few episodes here and there, namely, I'm looking at 42, to an extent the Shakespeare Code and Gridlock, but not too much. There's a few episodes here and there that I think lower it a bit below Series 1, but above Series 2. Despite the fact Series 2 had some episodes that are probably better than the episodes in this series, but like I said, we'll get around to Series 4 and the future and stuff. But yeah, this is Series 3, my third video in the Doctor Who series. We've got a long way to get to Series 12. We're now, 9 series left to get through, including this one. So, that's fun. But yeah, like I said, back to this episode, Smith and Jones. I think it's a nice introduction to Martha. I think it's a fantastic episode, don't get me wrong. I think it's a very enjoyable one, with a first introduction to the Judoon and stuff like that. And I think I like the little reference where she says she's got a cousin who is in Canary Wharf, which is obviously referencing the fact that the actress Freema Agyeman was in the episode, the two-part, the series 2 finale, Army of Ghosts Doomsday, and she played a different character. She didn't play Martha there, and that character obviously, unfortunately, ended up ending. So, like I said, that really adds to the level, I think, to nice sort of almost what's the word I'm looking for here? Almost continuity. That's the word. It's continuity, which is good to see. I think the Plasmavore as a concept is pretty good. I think I like the idea of the hospital being taken to Moon and stuff like that. I think it's a really well thought out and structured episode, and I think, like I said, it's quite an interesting episode to say the least. I think that there are many elements of it that could definitely be explored a bit better, but it really sets up the relationship that between Martha and the Doctor quite nicely, and it also sets up almost a contrasting family dynamic opposed to Rose, who just had her mother, whereas Martha here has her mum, her dad's boyfriend, her brother, and her sister. So it's a bigger family, and some of that just come into play to an extent in some future episodes. Mainly, I'm thinking the Lazarus Experiment and the 3-part finale, which is where it mainly comes into play. But like I said, it's still an enjoyable episode. I think it does its job of a series starter. I think the Plasmavore, it's unknown if they have a true form besides this human form that she's taken, which is something that I think could have been adjusted a bit more to. But like I said, it's all up to debate. So yeah, I think it's a very enjoyable episode. I think it does its job very well of starting the series off with a bang, and I think the whole of Series 3 is gonna go quite nicely with my expectations. I think I'm gonna, I've always thought that Series 3 was far more fun than Series 2. Well, not more fun, because Series 2 had some absolute slapper episodes. Like I said, I think all of Series, I think on its own, episodes like Rise of Cybermen, Age of Steel, and the finale Army of Ghosts and Doomsday are definitely better than the entirety of Series 3, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I mean, it's just a fantastic series all round. Series 4 also has its ups and its downs, but I think Series 4 is more interesting, and obviously that's going to be split into 2 videos. The Series 4 review, which will do episodes 1 through 13, and then there's the Series 4 specials, The Next Doctor, The Planet of the Dead, The Waters of Mars, The End of Time Part 1, and The End of Time Part 2, which will be its own separate sorry about that, but yeah, it's a fantastic episode. I like Murray Gold's music. The Martha's theme, it's a pretty good piece, I have to admit. In this series, we'll be switching between the pieces, the Master Vanglorious and Yarnart Extract. So you'll be hearing those pieces a bit through this series, as well as also having the. I think I'm going to do the entire. Why am I talking about that now? That's not yet. But yeah, we'll get to that sort of stuff. But yeah, thank you for sticking with me after all these 2 long videos. I got a wonderful comment from my dear friends on the series 1 review. So it's doing well views wise. I think we can. I'm happy with it where it's turned out. But Series 3 is a big one. It's an interesting one. It flips itself up and down. And obviously, don't forget soon that we'll be doing the Loki series review, which will be coming up as soon as that series ends in 2 weeks' time. But yeah. Oh. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking through with these reviews. They're big ones. They're much bigger than anything else done on the channel. The only thing that they are anywhere near size-wise is the Alton Tower soundtrack CD review that I did on the 2nd channel. And yes, the Stork Park CD soundtrack review is coming, and I am working on more soundtrack reviews for that channel, because I want that channel to primarily be trailer uploads, clips, and soundtrack reviews. That's the primary use of that channel. Game Me videos are officially dead. I did announce this on the stream yesterday, but it was very late on, so I don't think anyone heard this. But Game Me videos are officially dead on that channel. Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe to the Stream Archive channel. It's a smaller channel, but it's there. Yeah, this is the start of Series 3, and I can't wait to show you my thoughts on this series as well. David Tennant's 2nd series as the Doctor, and the 3rd series of the revitalization. But yeah, coming up right about now is my review of Series 3, Episode 2, The Shakespeare Code, hitting your ears and screens right about now. Right, so Episode 2, The Shakespeare Code. Yeah, The Shakespeare Code. Obviously, it's a historical episode set in Elizabethan England and all that lovely jubbly jazz. But I think it's a fine episode. It's structured nicely. It's pace-wise, it's fantastically fun. It's quite an enjoyable episode, not gonna lie. It's another nice starter to the series. The Carrier Knights are an intriguing set of villains. They're never the best, but they do their job, and I think it lends itself to what I really like about this episode is the usage of the real life, or as far as I'm aware, real life play that went missing called Love's Labour's 1. Which was famously went missing. It was a lost play, which is obviously yeah, it's a very speculated Love Labour's 1 is a supposedly lost play written by William Shakespeare that was listed in his contemporary listing of things, but there's no script to it if it ever existed. It's not, none of it was ever played, none of it's ever survived, so it's sort of up in the air really. And I love how this episode of Doctor Who decides to roll with that, and I love it when it does those sort of things where they take something that's almost historically real and say, what if aliens were involved in it or some shape or form? And I like what they do here with this episode, that they take this whole mystery of the lost play and say that the aliens use this play to come to bring themselves back into the world and stuff and take over the Earth, and then once the episode concludes, the play gets shot up in the air and it's never seen again, all copies missing. I love that concept, and I think it works really, really well here for this episode. And I think, like I said, it's a fantastic concept and a great execution. It's quite well written by Gareth Roberts here, and I think, like I said, it's a fantastic start to a series that, like I said, has a lot more highs in Series 2, but not quite as high as Series 1. Series 1 is one of my favourite series of Doctor Who ever made, period. And I think it lends itself to that sort of, it's really that fucking good. And Series 3 has its highs and its lows too, and I look forward to moving forward and stuff. Series 5 is another fantastic series. But yeah, like I said, it's a fantastic episode. I highly recommend you watch it. It's very enjoyable. I like the use of the historical aspect to see that explore a bit more, and to an extent, like I said, like a few other episodes, the Doctor's not really the main character here. It's almost essentially William Shakespeare, which is fun. But yeah, it's a really well done episode. I highly recommend you watch it. And yeah, that's my review of the Shakespeare Code. Coming up right now is my review of episode 3, Gridlock, coming at you right about now. Right, so episode 2, Gridlock, written by your boy Russell T Davies. It's an episode that I think it's actually very enjoyable. It's quite well written. There's a bit of face of bow here and there. It's a very good episode. Don't get me wrong. I think it's the more enjoyable one out of the what I like to call the New Earth saga. I think that's the better episode. I think the original New Earth was limited in its episode, in its portrayal, but I feel like this episode did it more justice. Oh, pardon me. In the sense that I feel like it was more on top of itself here than it was in the previous episodes, say in obviously New Earth. But I think what I like most about it is obviously the whole idea of the it's called Gridlock, obviously, and everything being gridlocked down, and then the Doctor travelling through them. It's a very very good episode conceptually, and the execution is even better. And I think, like I said, it's an absolutely fantastic gem of an episode. It's very enjoyable, and I think, like I said, it fleshes out Martha a bit more. We see some more side of her that we haven't seen yet, even though it's early on, but still. It's interesting to see that side of Martha so early on. And yeah, obviously we're only 2 episodes in, so it's an interesting series dynamic. But like I said, we're there, we're getting there. And I think obviously the next episode is the 2-part of the Daleks take Manhattan, and Daleks in Manhattan, Evolution of the Daleks, which is an interesting 2-part. I have to say, I mean, obviously I think we have a steady-ish start to series 3. I think, like I said, Smith and Jones is lots of enjoyable. Shakespeare Code is also quite fun, so is Gridlock. But I think we're picking up a bit, and then we drop all the way down to absolutely terrible with the episode 42, which was, when you look at it, written by Chris Chibnall. So that does lead itself to the reason why I think maybe he could have done better. But I think his series 11 and 12 stuff has been really good, but we'll move away. We'll wait until we get to that point. But yeah, and then obviously Human Nature and Family Brothers, brilliant 2-part of Blink is probably the pinnacle of this series in my opinion. And then there's that final 3-parter followed by the Voyage of the Damned Christmas special. That 3-parter is a lot of fun, but I don't think it's quite as significantly intriguing as the final 2-part of Series 4, Solar Earth Journey's End, where you have all of the 10th Doctor's companions come together. But yeah, we're in Series 3, so like I said, we're back to that. I think Gridlock is a fun episode. It's great to see the face of Bowen Novice Haim again, and I think it's another episode that, while not entirely forcefully doing it, the ending of it sets up the final 2-part in a massive sense, and I think as continued going along, it will continue to set up, and it's nice to see that they're setting those things up nice and early on. There's been already mentions of Mr. Saxon in Smith and Jones, I think, and to have that sort of "You Are Not Alone," which will really play a huge part in the later on in this story arc of this series, to have it so early set up. I like it when series set something up quite early for it to pay off at the very end, and Series 3 is a series that does do that, and we'll get further into it as we go along. But like I said, Gridlock is a fantastic episode. Great to see Face of Bo back. I love the cat. I can't remember his name, but I think he's really funny. The cat with the Irish accent is really funny. But yeah, that's my review of Gridlock. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, coming up now is my review of the Daleks in Manhattan, episode 4, Daleks in Manhattan, coming at you all right about now. Right, so the next episode of Doctor Who, Series 3, episode 4, Daleks in Manhattan. Now this is a tale of, of awesome proportions. It's great to see the Daleks back in a different time period, which is the first time they do that. I think it does come back in Victory Daleks in series 5? Yeah, Victory Daleks in series 5, but up and sort of, it's an interesting concept of putting the Daleks in a different time period on Earth, and I think it's used to its full potential here, and I think it leads to some very good moments, and that's quite an enjoyable story. Instead of it being set in modern day, like stuff like, or maybe the future, stuff say like Dalek or Parting of the Ways, and or like Bad Wolf and Parting of the Ways, or the Series 5 Ender, Stolen Earth, Journey's End, sort of things like that. It's set in a different time period, much like Victory of the Daleks and stuff. And I think like I said, at the end of the day, it also leads itself to, you know, interesting dilemmas and consequences and stuff, and I think that's what makes it so much fun. It's so fresh, and I think it's cool to see that, you know, in that regard, that, you know, it expands what the Daleks mythos, and to see the, like I said, it's the next step, the second part of this two-part is called Evolution of the Daleks, because it evolves. It's an evolution, you know. They do something different, and I think as that two-parter goes on, you find out really how one Dalek tried to change, and the others didn't like that as it goes on, and I think that's a wonderful concept, the split between species, and I think, like I said, it's a very well written and executed concept, and it's a concept that, once again, I think is fantastic. And like I said, it's just a brilliant conceptual idea of the Daleks evolving themselves to be like humans, but then lowering themselves to the standard where they think that that's wrong and they don't like it, and it's just so well executed. And I think, like I said, it's one of the best two parts of this series. Dalek episodes are always fantastic, but here, and specifically here, I think it lends itself to be so uniquely special that it's just so enjoyable. Like I said, it's a fantastically enjoyable experience, and it's just wonderful, you know, explorative episode that uses, you know, the creativity of someone who clearly can push themselves forward, and uses that to its advantage to create an episode so unique in Dalek episodes in Doctor Who history that it stands above, you know, some of the other previous Dalek episodes in being, although not as good as Dalek. I think Dalek is the single best Dalek episode ever. But it stands, you know, quite tall and mighty with the other ones to being unique, and I feel like it's definitely better than Victory of the Daleks, because in the end, they all come new modern Daleks, and obviously that fell flat on its face. But I think here it's just so well executed that you can really enjoy it. And yeah, that's my review of episode 4, Daleks in Manhattan. Coming up right now, episode 5, Evolution of the Daleks, hitting your lovely ears and eyes right about now. Right, so episode, I believe, 5, if I'm not wrong. Yes, episode 5, Evolution of the Daleks. Now, I like this episode because it shows the Doctor's willingness to allow a species that he's hated for so many years to change and evolve. He was going to help them change and evolve and give them a new life, and the human Dalek clearly had evolved, but there were still 3 others left there who hadn't quite evolved yet, and that was ultimately the entire thing's downfall. Just one, just two left over, 3 left over, and that changed the whole Icebergs event. And I think, like I said, it's just a fantastic It's a fantastic episode. It's a fantastic two-part. Like I said, it's thrilling, it's enjoyable. You have so many characters as well. Like I said, so many really good characters, and it's not just Doctor and Martha. It's Doctor, there's Martha, there's Frank, there was Solomon, there's Laszlo, there's Tallulah, there's, you know, the human Dalek as well and stuff. But sort of main characters, Solomon, Frank, which we'll get to in a minute, the Doctor, Martha, Laszlo, and Tallulah. And I think Frank is important to point out because Frank is played by well-known British actor Andrew Garfield, who appears in both episodes. Yeah, Andrew Garfield, you know, the guy who played Spider-Man, very famous actor, and this is him in Doctor Who, so it's an interesting thing to see him in Doctor Who. I think, you know, at the time this episode came out, Spider-Man 3 was coming out, so, you know, it would be a few more years before he stepped into the spider suit. But to see him on Doctor Who in such an intriguing episode, I don't understand why both him, Andrew Garfield, who played Frank, and the actor who played Solomon, Hugh something other, guy who's in Hobby City, they're both British actors putting on American accents. I don't understand why the production crew decided to do it. I know they like getting British actors in, but why would you get a British actor in to portray an American character? I suppose maybe it's because it's a British done show, but I mean, I love having Andrew Garfield in Doctor Who, and he did a fantastic American accent here, and so does the other guy, but I feel like it's just a bit, you can tell they're British. Underneath that, a very good American accent, you can tell that they're very much British. And I think that's what makes it so unique at the end of the day. But yeah, like I said, I like the concept of the pig slaves and the Doctor witnessing genocide once again, and then trying to help the final Dalek, and then the final Dalek just temple shifting again, and then him saving Laszlo when him not wanting any more deaths. I think that's absolutely fantastic too. So, like I said, I think it's an all-round great ending to a fantastic episode, and it just keeps the ball rolling. It keeps the series going on and on and on, and I think that's fantastic. But yeah, that's my review of Evolution of the Daleks. Up next is my review for The Lazarus Experiment, one of the more intriguing episodes, which features writer Mark Gatiss as a character as Professor Lazarus, despite the fact that oh, yeah, he didn't write it. I thought he wrote it, but he didn't write it. He just starred in it. And we'll go on to star in another episode of Doctor Who at the end of the 12th Doctor's reign. So there's that, but he's also involved with being one of the key writers in a couple of episodes as well. But yeah, coming up right now, my view for the Lazarus Experiment coming up right about now. Right, so episode 6, series 3, episode 6, the Lazarus Experiment. Now, this episode is one that lays a lot more groundwork for the coming finale. And I do suspect that going forward we'll see a lot more build up to it. Obviously, we've already had the mention of Mr. Saxon in this episode. There's mentions of Saxon, there's mentions of the Doctor not being dangerous and stuff, and it's all to lead up to that ending finale that is Utopia, Sound of the Drums, Last of the Time Lords. But it's all been set up. It's been set up even from the Runaway Bride in the previous series. There was a mention of that at the end of that episode. It's been, the words Saxon and stuff have been thrown around. There's in the background of Smith and Jones. And in various other episodes, it's been, pointing out Smith and Jones, the word Saxon's been there, and then it's back to here where Saxon is mentioned quite a bit. Howard Saxon, his forename's finally given and stuff, so it's good to see that that's coming full circle, and I can't wait to see that finale. And like I said, it's a fantastic finale of Doctor Who. It's one of the better ones. I thoroughly enjoy it, although there's obviously the big Deus Ex Machina that is the ending, but still. I think the Lazarus Experiment is a very, very interesting episode. I think it's a fun episode, and like I said, I like the idea of experimentation, of being human, and then those genes from the dinosaurs and stuff still being left in and hidden but unlocked if you do something to change your DNA, which is what Lazarus did. I think that's a very interesting concept. I think it's good to see Mark Gatiss on screen, the Doctor, who won't come back to do that again until 2017, 10 years after the Lazarus Experiment first aired. So, that's fantastic. But like I said, it's a really just fun episode. I can't tell you how enjoyable it is. It's very open, and I think it's good to see Martha's family here, a whole minus the dad, of course, which makes sense considering his position in the previous Smith and Jones. But I think it's good to see them all again, and this the whole scenario of Martha just being left at the beginning of this episode, and then the Doctor coming back and doing this one thing, and then inviting her along for the journey for the rest of the series and stuff. And obviously after this episode, the series took a 2-week break before returning with episode 742. So that's fun. But yeah, which I didn't actually know until watching the end credits of this episode. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the episode. I think, like I said, it's absolutely enjoyable. It's a fantastic, fun little romp. I think it's a nice one single episode to see Mark Gatiss on screen and stuff, and it's very well fleshed out, and the character of Lazarus is interesting, and the ending in the church, and references to World War II and the Blitz and stuff. Fantastic episode. It does its job of being like a mid-season one-parter. And yeah, like I said, it's just like most of us, the Doctor is quite enjoyable with some nice scenes. And one thing I do mention is that the Lazarus creature CGI has not aged too well at all. I don't think it aged too well when it came out, let alone now. It does not look too good. It's the weakest part of CGI we've seen in with 3 series in. I think some of the stuff in series 1 looks better than this. So, but yeah, like I said, it hasn't aged the best. But yeah, that's my review of the Lazarus Experiment. Coming up right now is my review of episode 742, coming at you right about now. Right, so episode 7, which officially means we're halfway through series 3. So this is fun. 42, though, without a doubt, is my least favourite episode of Series 3. I think it is one of Tennant's worst episodes, one of the worst episodes in all of Who. It's not, I don't think it's as bad as, I mean, comparing it to Fear Her, I actually think Fear Her has a bit more enjoyability than 42. I think 42 is definitely worse than Fear Her. But it's also not at the same time. They're both really shit episodes, and this is no doubt. I mean, it's unfortunate because when you look at this, this is officially the first writing credit to current, at least on an episode of Doctor Who TV-wise, of current showrunner Chris Chibnall. But that doesn't mean he is not talented, because he did go on to write some very interesting episodes, including the Series 5 two-parter, The Hungry Earth and Cold Blood, as well as I think it's the Series 6 or 7 episode. I think it might be Series 7. No, it's Series 6. No, it's the Series 7 episode, Dinosaur on a Spaceship. So, yeah, like I said, interesting to say the least. Interesting section of episodes. And obviously he wrote a lot of Series 11 and 12 and stuff, but those are his pre-Series 11 and 12 credits. And obviously this is not a great start at all in any way, shape or form. It's really one of the weakest episodes in all of Who. I really don't like the story or the subplot. The characters are pretty weak and boring. But obviously the only thing that really comes to mind liking of this episode is the more teasing towards Howard Saxon, the Master, that final 3 episodes at the end, with the first time we actually hear the Master's new theme, the Master Vainglorious, in action here in this series, is at the end of this episode. That's that theme. But yeah, 42 is really not fun. It's really boring, barren, no creativity or imaginativity. Everyone's all sweaty and hot, and it's really just nothing special. It's just a weak knot, and I don't really want to give it too much time, more time than is warranted. So I think we're going to cut it here. Yeah, 42 is one of the worst episodes in New Who history. But what I can tell you is far away from that is the incredible two-parter Human Nature, The Family of Blood, which is coming up right now. My review of Human Nature is coming up to you right about now. Right, so episode, I want to say, yeah, Human Nature. Now, before we begin, I want to give some context. Human Nature and The Family of Blood, both episodes, two-parter, is based on the book of the same name, called Human Nature, written by the same person, Paul Cornell. And just a bit of more context and backstory. It was obviously written as part of the, I think it was an 8th Doctor story in the in-between years between the TV movie and the revival. And obviously when Paul Cornell was brought back into right for the new series, he wrote Father's Day in Series 1. That was an interesting concept. But then when Russell T Davies needed an episode to sort of almost tie quite nicely into the ending of Series 3, and he realised that, a bit of a spoiler, is that the whole idea of the concealing the Time Lord in the Watch concept that was in that novel would be a really great way to gateway between Utopia, Sound of the Drums, Last of the Time Lords, where the Master in Utopia is hidden in the same watch thing from this episode. He commissioned Paul Cornell to write the episode into the series, and here we have Human Nature, which is a fantastic episode. It's one of the best. I think Paul Cornell is one of the best writers of Doctor Who, because I have to admit Father's Day is a fantastic episode, and I really think that there could be a lot more. I felt like that was what it was really cool about it, is that it really just added that whole level on top of what Father's Day had already brought to the table, and just completely changed it to, add that extra oomph to it. And I think Paul Cornell is very talented, and I can't wait to see him write other stuff. And obviously these, I think Doctor Who is a fantastic, avenue. Paul Cornell is a fantastic writer. He's done a fantastic job writing for Doctor Who. He wrote 2 of the best stories, and like I said, he, fantastic writer. Yeah, he only ever wrote those episodes for Doctor Who, because obviously Human Nature and Family of Blood was based off of the book he wrote, and then Father's Day, he just wrote that one, I think, which is quite cool. But yeah, like I said, Human Nature is a fantastic episode. It explores the themes of the Doctor, and I think it's fantastic. It's a fantastic episode. It's so well written. It's nice to see the Doctor do something different. And I think that's fantastic. Yeah, it's just brilliant. I think, like I said, it's fun. It's fantastic to see, it really be like that, And I think it's just a so great character study of the Doctor and what happens if the Doctor was human and him stuck in a thing, and it's just fantastic. But yeah, like I said, it's just fantastic to see him, to see this side of the Doctor, this John Smith character, explored a bit more, and I think it's great conceptually. Paul Cornell is fantastic, right? Like I said, and I can't wait to continue this episode. It's a fantastic episode, and it's a fantastic two-part. Like I said, it's so well written, and it just really shows them too. It also shows Martha in a way of what to do and stuff, and it almost essentially acted like he trusted Martha more than he would have trusted Rose, which is an interesting thing. But yeah, like I said, that's my review of Human Nature. Coming up now is my review of The Family of Blood. Thank you, and enjoy that review. Episode 8, The Family of Blood. Episode 9, The Family of Blood, coming up right now. That was episode 8, Human Nature. Coming up right now is my review for episode 9, Family of Blood, hitting your ears and eyes right about now. Right, so 3-9, The Family of Blood. Now, I was just thinking about it, the two-parter, it's more David Tennant is portraying the character of John Smith than he is the Doctor, because he's only really the Doctor for about 10 minutes at the end of this episode, and in like 10-second slots at the beginning of both episodes, and times and flashbacks and stuff. But for the majority of these two episodes, David Tennant is not actually portraying the Doctor, he's portraying John Smith. And I do, like I said, it's an absolutely fantastic two-parter. The second episode is just as good as the first. I have to admit, the guy who plays Baines, Jeremy Baines, the guy who plays him, and obviously the takeover son of mine, he's a fucking fantastic actor. He does a fantastic job here. Like I said, out of all of the Family of the Blood, I think he's the standout one. He's the most fantastic, most intriguingly, most fantastic performance of all the Family of the Blood. It's definitely son of mine, and I think that's just fantastic. Like I said, his performance is brilliant, but the whole story, Paul Cornell is a very talented writer, and as we'll see in the next story, Blink, which is written by one of my favourite Doctor Who writers and future showrunner for series 5 through 10, Stephen Moffat. But Paul Cornell he only ever wrote 3 episodes for Doctor Who: Father's Day, Human Nature, and The Family of Blood, and already those 3 episodes are the standout, are some of the best in their series and some of the best Who episodes ever. So he stands up there with some of the best Who writers in modern history and old. And I have to admit, these 2 episodes are so fantastically written, acted, and the music by Murray Gold is also fantastic. There's a lot of different melody versions of the Martha's theme cue, which is fantastic to see, even towards the lovely ending as well, where I only can assume that they're at Hutchinson's funeral, and that's the little, I can't remember his name, Tim in the wheelchair. That's what I imagine it is. But yeah, like I said, it's a fantastic two-parter, and you get to see almost the rage and the fire and the emotion of the Doctor at the end when he wraps them all in time and stuff. But yeah, like I said, it's a fantastic two-parter. I cannot stress enough how fucking fantastic it is. It is one of my favourite episodes of New Who, and it's so well done. And yeah, like I said, it's just fantastic. And yeah, I suppose you could say to an extent it does try to change the structure of a Doctor Who episode, having the Doctor not be the Doctor for this entire 2 episodes, but him be another character called John Smith is genius. But yeah, like I said, it's a fantastic two-parter. I've always enjoyed it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, that's my review of the final part of the two-parter, Series 3, Episode 9, The Family of Blood. Coming up now, my review of Series 3, Episode 10, and the final episode of the series to not be part of the big finale. So our last non-finale based episode, because this finale for Series 3 is a 3-part epic one of the best Doctor Who finales ever. But the next episode is probably the best episode of this series in my opinion, because it's so different, unique, and that is, of course, Series 3, Episode 10, Blink. Coming up to you now, my review of Episode 10, Blink, is coming out your screen, your eyes and ears right about now. Right, so, Series 3, Episode 10, Blink. Now, Blink is special because it tried to do the same thing Love and Monsters did, in that it changed the structure of the Doctor episode and changed the way it's structured, it's formatted, and majoritively the episode not having the Doctor in it. And where Love and Monsters completely fell flat on its face, Blink gets up on its feet, runs around the track, and runs faster than Usain Bolt in doing that, and I think it succeeds in every way in what it was trying to do. It's a fantastic tale. I love the different bits of she was with the person 1 minute, the next minute they're dead, and you get a message or something from them. I love that concept. Sally Sparrow's a fantastic. They call her the almost companion, which is I think it's quite a fitting term, and that's what I'm going to call her, the almost companion. But the whole episode is just fantastic. The ending, the wrap up, and all that stuff. It's absolutely fantastic, and like I said, it is. I'm not even exaggerating here, but it is one of the best episodes of New Who. It is the definitive episode of this series, if you ask me. Don't get me wrong, I love this finale 3-parter, but it's got nothing on Blink. Blink is so unique, so special, so wonderful, something truly different in Doctor Who history, and I think that's why it's gone down as one of the most best episodes in all of history. Weeping Angels, again, the introduction of one of the most scariest enemies in Doctor Who, the Weeping Angel, one of the more intriguing ones that really could be on your street corner, it could be in your house, it could be in anywhere, really, not anywhere, but you know what I mean. Statues, they're almost everywhere in the public, and I think when the episode came out there was a bit of a mass panic to do with all that stuff. And yeah, it's just fantastic, really. It's so well done. I love the episode to bits. I think it's so well crafted. Stephen Moffat is a fantastic writer, and this is obviously proof that he is a fantastic writer. So yeah, it's brilliant. I cannot stress enough how fantastic it is. It's so well written. It's, the characters are fantastic. You have Sally Sparrow, you have Lawrence Nightingale, you have all these characters that are so fantastic. It's just so well crafted, really. And then obviously for me, because my name is Billy, so having the character called Billy, that's an epic meme for me. And yeah, like I said, it's just a fantastic episode, really. It's so well done. It's more than fantastic. It's absolutely brilliant. It's definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. We'll get to that sooner rather than later. But yeah, that's my review of Blink. An absolutely fucking amazing episode of Doctor Who. And of any of the episodes, it's the one I recommend you watch the most right now. Do it now. Okie dokie, that's my review of Blink. Coming up right now is my review of the first part of the epic conclusion of Series 3. Series 3, Episode 11, Utopia review, coming to your face and ears right now. Right, so, Series 3, Episode 11, Utopia. Captain Jack back once again, which is fantastic to see. Like I said, it's a fantastic episode. It really does let Tennant shine through. But yeah, it's just a fantastic episode. It's so well constructed, and as much as we didn't get to see much of Derek Jacobi as the Master, I have to admit it's a fantastic ride. It's great to see them figure out all the rocket stuff, and then the big twist, the Yana. I love that, the whole Yana thing, which is what the Face of Both said all the way back in Gridlock, where he said, you are not alone, which spells out Y, alone, A, not N, alone, A. You are not alone, Yana. And I think that's really clever. And like I said, back in Human Nature, Family of Blood, that episode, that two-parter set up this episode quite well, because obviously it's Martha who figures it out, because Professor Yana, before he opens it up, pulls out a wrist a pocket watch that looks exactly the same as the one the Doctor used to conceal his identity in Human Nature Family of Blood, which is why that episode was made in the first place, to show that, to show that why it happened and stuff, and I think that's really cool. But like I said, it's just a fantastic all-round episode. I think Derek Jacobi does a fantastic performance as well as Professor Yana, for which he is for most of the episode, and also the Master for what he is for 5 minutes and that, which is cool. The Future Kind are a bit weird. I don't like them, but I get what they're supposed to represent, which is intriguing. But yeah, I like the whole concept of the whole Utopia thing. I think that's fantastic. But at the end of the day, I think it's a fantastic episode. It really is. But yeah, that's my review of Utopia. Coming up right now is my review of Series 3, Episode 12, Part 2 of 3, The Sound of the Drums. The sound of drums, even. The sound of drums. Sound of drums. Coming up right now. Enjoy my review of Sound of Drums right about. Coming into your ears. Coming to your eyes. No. Coming to your eyes and ears right about. No. Now. Right, so episode 12, The Sound of the Drums, is action-packed. It's where we do get to see the full extent of John Simm's portrayal of the Master in all its glory, right here, right now, in that episode at least. And I think, like I said, John Sim really pulls it off in the Master, and like I said, his whole plan is top of the class, top of the range. And I think it's great to see Captain Jack back. It's nice to see all of the stuff from all the stuff that's been built up from every previous episode in this series. All the all that stuff, and all the Mr. Saxon, Howard Saxon, that gobbledygook, it's all built up to this episode. And I think that's fantastic. And like I said, I think I always enjoyed this 3-part. I think it's fantastic. It's great to see Captain Jack back. Obviously, at this point in time, when it was happening, it's up when the series was aired, Torchwood already existed for a year. And I thought this was just, I think they just slotted him in here just as a nice way to re-establish it. Maybe just remind the viewers of Doctor Who that Torchwood exists to an extent. Because, I mean, Torchwood, although, to be fair, Torchwood caters to a very different demographic than Doctor Who does. Torchwood is definitely the more adult-orientated show that has more adult-orientated themes in it, such as sexual stuff, violence, drugs, pleasurable stuff. All that stuff is what Torchwood focuses on using that sort of stuff. For instance, I think there's an episode where the alien, the bad guy, is an alien that feeds off of orgasms. So, like I said, Torchwood is much more an adult-orientated show, or teeny adults, rather than Doctor Who is more general. Anyone can really watch Doctor Who. You might get a bit scared, but like the themes are not too hard or dark or heavy, and that's what makes Doctor Who so enjoyable, I think, all round. And the spin-offs, I mean, and I think, stuff like Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures fared far better than previous attempts before. Stuff like the Dalek show that never went anywhere, didn't even get a pilot that Terry Nation wanted to do, or K9 and Company, which got a pilot but it wasn't very good. But the spin-offs, the modern spin-offs, such as Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures, both went moderately successful to have at least 3 to 4 seasons each. I think Sarah Jane did a bit more than that. I have never watched an episode of Sarah Jane in my life, but I do want to. But yeah, like I said, it's a fantastic ending. The climax is so up there. It's good to see all of Martha's family back, and I mean all of them, including the dad and stuff, and Tish, and even Leo to an extent. It's good to see Martha's big old family. More emphasis on the fact that Martha is a different character to Rose, in that Rose had just a mum, no brother, no sister, no father at that point. But Martha has a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, and a father's girlfriend, but she's only in the one episode. But what I'm trying to say is she has a bigger family than Rose ever did, and I think that's the point, that they're different people. And I think I've always preferred the relationship that the 10th Doctor had with Donna than any other companion. I think the Doctor and Donna are... I think Series 4 is Tennant's best series, if you ask me, because of the fact that the chemistry between those two really hold it. But we're talking about this episode, like I said, I think Howard Saxon, the concept of Howard Saxon and all that stuff is fantastic. I like to see it explored a lot more in the Series 4 specials, but here it's just fantastic as well. And yeah, like I said, fantastic. My review for Series 3, Episode 13, The Last of the Time Lords, is coming up now, and as I'm recording this, it's 11 o'clock at night on the 5th of July. I'm going to watch The Last of the Time Lords, and then tomorrow on the 6th of July, I'm going to record the Voyage of the Damned episode, and then it should be out on the 6th of July at some point. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Yeah, thank you for listening. My review of Episode 13, Last of the Time Lords, is hitting your eyes and ears right about now. Right, so, Series 3, Episode 13, Last of the Time Lords, is now, it's an episode that a lot of people have regarded as inaccurate and where the ending is literally just a literal Deus Ex Machina, and I can understand where that comes from, but I still think it's an enjoyable bit of telly. So like I said, I think it's thoroughly fantastic, and it's just so interesting because it obviously it pretty much is a Deus Ex Machina, but what it also is an interesting way to end off Martha's character and her, collection of her way of saying, I'm leaving. Like, she's basically the first companion to leave the TARDIS out of her own will, opposed to, at least for the new series, opposed to actually being, leaving off for a specific reason, such as Rose, who got stuck in the parallel world and stuff. But yeah, it's just a fantastic episode. It's still but yeah, like I said, it's just a fantastic it's just a great episode. It bathes itself in just being fucking awesome, and although, like I said, the ending, the whole part of it is Deus Ex Machina, but John Simm gives a fantastic performance across the 3 technical episodes that he is the master in this series, and I think, like I said, he gives a fantastic performance right to the end. All of Martha's family give fantastic performances. Martha is fantastic. I like seeing the Tom Simmons, the Doctor, I think is his name. Not the Doctor, but a Doctor. It's really confusing. But I like seeing him. He was cool. The Mrs. Doherty lady was cool as well. I think all the characters in this episode are fantastic, and I like to see that movement of everyone shouting the Doctor's name. And obviously, it was a literal Deus Ex Machina. But if you take that apart, it's a fantastic episode. And my favourite part of this episode is at the very, very end, where Jack is saying goodbye to Martha and the Doctor, and they're having a conversation about if Jack can die and stuff, and Jack mentions, obviously being Jack, he mentions that, will I get any grey hairs and stuff, and then the Doctor says he doesn't know, and then Jack goes, sorry, it's vanity, I used to be a poster boy, used to live in the Beauchene Peninsula, and he says, the face of Beau, they used to call me, and the Doctor and Martha's faces just drop, and then Jack walks off, and they're like, no, it can't be. And that's essentially the show and both the Doctor and Martha, and then Jack telling us that what essentially is going on there is that Captain Jack Harkness, is the face of Beau. And I know there's a lot of theories if that's actually true or not, and I'm of the belief that I think personally Captain Jack is the face of Beau. Obviously there's numerous things to point it out. I mean, the face of Beau calls the Doctor old friend and all that stuff. And yeah, like I said, it's just a fantastic way to end quite a funny, a funny way to end quite a fantastic story and all that stuff. And I think it's genuinely brilliant to see that, and it's my favourite moment in this whole episode. And it's great to see Jack back. It's great to see Jack back, although in obviously a limited part in at least this episode or so, not as major as he played in the other two, but still, he was obviously only there just to promote Torchwood and stuff. So, not to promote it per se, but he's obviously there because there's obviously mentions of his little group and stuff, and his Torchwood was all mentioned and stuff, which is sort of trying to get that into the main fold of Doctor Who. And obviously that would come more into play during the series 4 finale, where the Torchwood gang are actually present in the episode, where I suppose obviously they weren't ready to bring anyone but Jack back in the actual main series. But yeah, it's a fantastic episode. Like I said, I'm recording this, it's now gone midnight the next day, so I'm not recording this on the previous day, but yeah, thanks for, if you're still watching at this point as well, you're a real one. Like I said, this has been taking a lot of time. I've been enjoying it most of all, sitting back and watching Doctor Who, and in my recent rewatches I've not got past series 6 or 7, so I'm hoping to get past that and also watch series 10 for the first time. But yeah, thank you for, sticking this far. Coming up next is my review of Christmas Special 2007, The Voyage of the Damned. Now, I just want to explain once again, just previously before we get to Series 4, I know this is a bit early, but still, I just want to probably say again in the next episode that I'll be doing Series 4 episodes 1 through 13 normally, and that'll be one video, and instead of doing it, well, I'll just tack that Christmas Special on at the end, because there's Series 4 The Specials. I'll be doing a video dedicated to Series 4 The Specials, so that'll be the next Doctor, The Planet of the Dead, The Waters of Mars, The End of Time Part 1 and The End of Time Part 2. That'll be one episode, one video dedicated to those 5 episodes, and then Series 4 and Series 4 The Special. That's the only time I'm doing that, because there's no other time where that really comes into play. But yeah, so stay tuned for that, 2 videos for Series 4 in one day. But yeah, thank you, and yeah, coming right now is my review of Series 3 episode 14, technically the Christmas Special of 2007, Voyage of the Damned, hitting you right about now, hitting your eyes and ears right about now. Right, so Series 3, the Series 3 technical, the Series 3, the 2007 Christmas Special Series 3 episode 14, Voyage of the Damned. Now, like I said, I still need to stop saying the words like I said, but yeah, essentially, this is the last time we will have, at least this will be the last time until Series 5, we'll have 13 episodes and then one single Christmas special, because obviously Series 4 is epically special with, episodes 1 through 13, and then there's obviously Series 4 The Specials, which, like I said in the previous review that you just heard, there will be, a separate episode for Series 4 The Specials featuring the next Doctor, Planet of the Dead, The Waters of Mars, the End of Time Part 1 and the End of Time Part 2. But speaking of the End of Time Part 1 and 2, The Voyage of the Damned is the first time we meet one of my favourite characters in New Who. I'm not even trying to be funny, and he is a companion for 2 episodes in the future, and obviously those episodes are the End of Time Part 1 and 2. But it's the first time we're introduced to legendary, funny character in Doctor Who history, Wilfred Mott, portrayed by Bernard Cribbins. And I think Wilfred Mott here, he little role, small things, couple of lines, but hilariously funny, and he's still a Wilfred Mott that we'll get to know a lot more in Series 4 with Donna Noble and all that stuff. But Voyage of the Damned, obviously, it's the first Doctor's, is the 10th Doctor's first story without Martha, so that makes it sort of more one of those stories that, obviously the Christmas specials tend to be like that sometimes, but it's one of those stories that really delve into, the Doctor being alone, and obviously the Ashton Perth, the companion that almost was, but never was at the same time. Another one of those almost was companions. But yeah, amongst there's another thing, that this is the final time we will hear the classic version of the theme that you're hearing right now, and those credits. As for Series 4, the credits and the theme will be vitalised for the brand new, more rock-inspired version of the theme that obviously takes inspiration, a sort of like a more, not rock, but yeah, also a more heavy guitar-inspired version that takes, I think, it's present from the fact that the 10th Doctor is seen as the cool one. But yeah, that's the Series 4. But yeah, it's a fantastic special, not one of my favourites, but it's also quite enjoyable. Like I said, it's fun. It's an interesting tale. It's a long it's 72 minutes, 71 minutes, 70 minutes roughly. So it's a long. I say long. It's not as long, but it could be. It's a fun tale. Don't get me wrong. I think it's nice to see the one character. Not nice, but I like the change of pace. That usually the one character that everyone hates finds an unfortunate way out, if not on purpose sometimes. But but in this story he doesn't. He survives and becomes more of a cunt bit, basically. But that's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, the whole Mex Capricorn cruise liners is a funny thing. Obviously he knew what he was doing when he named the boat Titanic, because that's fucking funny. But yeah, I just have to say it's a fantastic episode, and it's not fantastic. It's not the best, but I think it does enough to present the viewer with an enjoyable experience for 70 minutes on Christmas Day. It's quite action packed. There's a dramatic scene. There's just drama and stuff, and of course the 10th Doctor finally gets to say "Hello, Alonso," which is one of the best parts of this entire story. But yeah, it's just an all-round brilliant episode, and I think it could have been one of the better Christmas specials, but I think it was brought down by a few elements, such as different things that have brought it down just a little bit, and I think that's not its fault, but that's also partly down to some elements weren't written to the highest degree, like I previously mentioned, but it's still a fantastic episode. And yeah, that's about it for talking about this episode. But obviously, as is tradition with these videos, we're going to break down Series 3 as a whole and give them my ranking review. Now, as the series as a whole, I believe I gave Series 2 a 6 and Series 1 a 10. I think I gave Series 1 a 10, honestly. Now, Series 3, I'm going to give it... this is quite hard because there's a lot of good here, but it's not quite as good as Series 1, so I'm probably going to give it an 8. A solid 8. It's a solid series with a lot of ups and downs, but also quite enjoyable. Now let's go down to episode specific. Smith and Jones, a great start. 8.5. Shakespeare Code. I do quite enjoy the tale, and I think Shakespeare's fantastic. So 8.5 again. Gridlock. I think I give Gridlock a 9 because it's nice to see the face of Bo, and I think I thoroughly enjoyed Gridlock much more than the other New Earth story, and it's cool to see all that. And I really like that cat. That cat's really funny. So the cat man thing with the Irish accent, that's really funny. So like Daleks in Manhattan, I'd give that 8. Evolution of the Daleks gets a 9. Lazarus Experiment 7. 7.5 because the CGI is really painful. 42, that gets a 3. I hate that episode. Human Nature, that's a 9. Family of Blood, that's also a 9. Blink, that's a 10. Blink is a 10 in my opinion. Blink is perfect. Utopia, that's definitely a solid 9. Sound of the Drums, that's a solid 8. And I think Last of the Time Lords is a solid 8 too. So all round that 3-parter was pretty fun. And The Voyage of the Damned, I'd give it a solid 8. I'd have to say favourite of the series is Blink, and least favourite of the series / worst, 42. So that's my Doctor Who Series 3 review, comprehensive look through all of it. We've got just under 9 series left to go through. Obviously one that I've never seen before in Series 10, so that's going to be an intriguing one. But yeah, I appreciate anyone sitting this far into it, because we really are, it's a long video, and I appreciate anyone still being this far in the video, and I've thoroughly enjoyed talking about Doctor Who for these episodes, this video series, and I hope it continues for much longer. We've got more series coming up, but like I said, stay tuned on the Instagram for the Chessington trip on the 19th, and then Diggerland and Dreamland on either the 31st of July, 1st of August, or definitely on the 1st of August. One was on the 1st of August, and then either on the 31st of August, the 31st of July, or the 2nd of August. So stay tuned for that. I have more details for that in the future. I am working on other projects and stuff at the same time as this is going out. I've got a lot of movies in the backlog that I want to do reviews of, and obviously I want to start getting some more soundtrack reviews out on that second channel, starting with, of course, the Thorpe Park soundtrack review, which is coming very soon. As soon as I think I've wrapped up maybe this series of Doctor Who, which will be soon, I think I might move on to doing that quickly. And if I can't get that one done, then I will do a smaller soundtrack and do a review for that. But I want to start getting soundtrack reviews and trailers out on that channel, because that's what that channel is primarily now: soundtrack reviews, trailers and clips. No more gaming videos. All that stuff is just Twitch now. So if you want to see that, go. You want to see me play games and talk about stuff and have fun and annoy Woven, Twitch is where you want to be for that. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. It's been a fantastic review. Series 3 is an up and down one. Like I said, I enjoy most of it, but there's some elements, and Series 4 is another up and down one for me very much. If not, I think what keeps Series 4 high and above other episodes other series is obviously the relationship between the Doctor and Donna being absolutely fantastic, like so funny. I think, like I've said this previously and I'll say this again, I think the relationship between the Doctor and Donna is far better than the relationship was between him and Martha and him and Rose. It's just so much more funny and comedic, and you throw Wilfred into that mix and it just makes fantastic sets of episodes that are so funny and hilarious. And obviously Series 4 is an interesting one because not only does Martha return for 2 episodes in the Sontaran Stratagem and the Poison Sky, but also Rose returns in Turn Left. So, and then obviously Rose returns briefly in Turn Left, and then comes back to, you know, as well as, and then obviously the big 2-part finale of that series, Stolen Earth Journey's End, which contains almost every sort of character related to the Doctor and his companions from Series 1 all the way through to now. Mickey, Jackie, Donna, Martha, Rose, Captain Jack, everyone who's anyone is there, and it's fantastic. But yeah, we'll get to that soon enough, and like I said, also the Series 4, the specials, will be another specific special video that's coming up. But yeah, I can't wait to get past the 10th Doctor. Not that I don't like him, but it's because I'll let you into a little secret. The 11th Doctor is my favourite Doctor, so I can't wait to relive my favourite Doctor. I've always loved 11, I think he's fantastic, but I'm more into that when we get to Series 5, 6 and 7. And also don't forget that I do think the 13th Doctor is my second favourite Doctor of all time, which I know a lot of people might find that a bit controversial, but fuck you, I quite enjoyed a lot of the 13th Doctor stories. So I think she's almost a newer version of the 11th Doctor, the madman with a box, but in this case the madman with a box, and that's what I like about 13. But yeah, we'll get to 13 and 11 soon enough. This has been my review of Doctor Who Series 3. I hope you enjoyed it. I put loads of fun times enjoying this stuff. It's been brilliant to sit back and go through a series of Doctor Who that I quite enjoy for the most part. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching this video. It's a massive appreciation. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Don't forget to check back soon for Doctor Who Series 4 review and Doctor Who the Series 4, the specials review, coming very soon to the channel. Those 2 videos will be coming out quite close to each other. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to just check out all the other videos, Twitch streams and all that stuff. And yeah, bye bye for now.